Hey, Olive, Arlo, and Frank. Grandpa coming to you from the living room in Jack's Beach. I think I hear your grandmother stirring upstairs. Today we're in chapter 49 of Genesis, the next to the last chapter, and we're going to look at a very, very poetic chapter. This chapter centers around Jacob handing out blessings and prophetic predictions. And in the Bible, when the right person makes a prediction, it always comes true. So he's going to be talking to his 12 children. So let's jump right in. Jacob called for his sons and said, "Gather together so I can tell you what will happen to you in the future. Assemble and listen, you sons of Jacob. Listen to Israel, your father." So remember, his name was Jacob, and it was changed to Israel. But unlike people like Abram, his name was changed to Abraham, and he was never called Abram again. Jacob is sometimes Jacob and sometimes Israel. Need a scorecard to tell the players. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might and the beginning of my strength. Outstanding in dignity, outstanding in power. You are destructive like water and will not excel. For you got on your father's bed, then you defiled it. He got on my couch. And if you remember, he did. He slept with his dad's concubine. Simeon and Levi are brothers. Weapons of violence are their knives. O my soul, do not come into their council. Do not be united to their assembly, my heart. For in their anger they have killed men, and for pleasure they have hamstrung oxen. So if you remember, I think it was the village of Shechem, which there was a guy named Shechem in there, and the um, son, I guess it was Shechem, raped Dinah, however you want to pronounce it, Jacob's daughter. And then he tried to make good and said, "Oh, I want to marry her." So these guys told them, well, maybe Jacob told them, "Well, you know what? We'll let you marry her, but you all have to get circumcised." And when you get circumcised, like, usually it happens right after you're born. But when you have it done to you as an adult, you're out of commission for a couple of days. You can't even walk. You just have to lay there and be in pain. Back then, they really didn't have anything for pain. So you were just in pain for a couple of days till it started to heal. And while that happened, these guys came in and killed them. And we find out now that they didn't just kill them, but they cut the hamstrings, backs of their legs, of the oxen, of the bulls and cows. Cut cut it so that they couldn't walk. And they didn't kill them and eat them. They hamstrung them. So these are nasty guys. And Jacob's calling them out. How would you like it if you were around this with 11 others, 11 other brothers, and you were called out? You weren't blessed, you were called out and cursed. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their fury, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. Judah, your brothers will praise you. Your hand will be on the neck of your enemies. So now we get to Judah, who his descendants are going to include King David, and then eventually, if you're a Christian, you believe Jesus. was a descendant of Judah, from the tribe of Judah. Your brothers will praise you. Your hand will be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's sons will bow down before you. You are a lion's cub, Judah. From the prey, my son, you have gone up. He crouches and lies down like a lion, like a lioness. Who will rouse him? The scepter will not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until he comes to whom it belongs. And so for Christians, we believe that was Jesus. That when he came, they didn't need a ruler from the house of Judah. And all the kings are going to be from the house of Judah. And then it's going to split up, and the northern kingdom is going to be called Ephraim. And I believe that all their kings were from the line of Ephraim. The nations will obey him, binding his foal to the vine and his colt to the choicest vine. He will wash his garments in wine, his robes in the blood of grapes. His eyes will be dark from wine and his teeth white from milk. So that's the best blessing so far. And if you're a Christian, it's the best blessing ever. But we're going to move on. Zebulun will live by the haven of the sea and become a haven for ships. And they were like the northwestern part on the Mediterranean. His border will extend to Sidon. Issachar is a strong-boned donkey lying down between two saddlebags. Kind of an ass. When he sees a good resting place and the pleasant land, he will bend his shoulder to the burden and become a slave laborer. And so they're each going to get a part of the promised land. And that's part of the prophecy, is what part of the promised land they're going to get. Dan will judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. May Dan be a snake beside the road, a viper by the path, that bites the heels of the horse so that its rider falls backwards. I wait for your deliverance, O Lord. And Dan winds up being a very northernmost tribe, kind of on the border with all the heathens, Syria and now it's Lebanon, but back then I can't remember what it was called, but I digress. Gad will be raided by marauding bands, but he will attack them at their heels. And Gad did have an area that was under attack, I think, by the Philistines constantly. Asher's food will be rich, and he will provide delicacies to royalty. Naphtali is a free-running doe. He speaks delightful words. And now he's going to get to Joseph. Joseph is a fruitful bough near a spring whose branches climb over the wall. The archers will attack him. They will shoot at him and oppose him. But his bow will remain steady and his hands will be skillful. Because of the hands of the mighty one of Jacob, because of the shepherd, the rock of Israel, because of the God of your father, who will help you, because of the sovereign God who will bless you with blessings from the sky above, blessings from the deep that lies below, and blessings of the breasts in the womb. So fruitfulness, like having many children. Blessings of your father are greater than the blessings of the eternal mountains. or the desirable things of the age-old hills. They will be on the head of Joseph and on the brow of the prince of his brothers. And now he's going to go with his youngest son. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf, in the morning devouring the prey, and in the evening dividing the plunder. These are the 12 tribes of Israel. This is what their father said to them when he blessed them. He gave each of them an appropriate blessing. Then he instructed them, I am about to go to my people. So he's saying, I'm getting ready to die. Bury me with my fathers in the cave in the field of Ephron the Hittite. It is the cave in the field of Machpelah, near Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought for a burial plot from Ephraim the Hittite. There they buried Abraham and his wife Sarah. There they buried Isaac and his wife Rebekah. And there I buried Leah. So he's not going to be buried with Rachel. And that's interesting because he loved Rachel and he didn't love Leah, but Leah was his first wife. And he wants to be with his ancestors and she's there. So instead of saying, well, I'm going to go to this little spot that I buried Rachel in, he's going with the family. Like he understands. He understands it. He's still a trickster, but he understands it. The field and the cave in it were acquired from the sons of Heth. When Jacob finished giving these instructions to his sons, he pulled his feet up onto the bed, breathed his last breath, and went to his people. And I don't know why, but because this thing just decided to do this. But when I say peace out, it launches balloons. See you next time, guys.